I always wonder, I had these questions always in my head. It seems that there is so many conflicts that later develops into either hatred among the cultures or nations, or in some cases develop into wars. We see these patterns throughout the history, like in ancient times, in 20th century, and it keeps going on. Even now with what's going on with Russia and Ukraine. I wonder maybe there is a pattern or thing that we are repeatedly doing wrong as soon as conflict evolves, which is giving birth to hatred or war in countries. How we can make people more peaceful? Why politics is so complex? What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I thought a lot about this question, like in general, like why can people not get along with each other?
Mm-hmm.
And I think this is a very difficult question to answer because I think it's not one answer. I think it's multifaceted and has multiple factors going into it. For me, one of the big things I think, and it has nothing to do with the people of them, but I think a lot of times religion is a difficult one because either you're in that group or you're not, and therefore it's us versus them. And sometimes that can develop into dangerous mindsets if you don't belong in that group that's loved versus that group that's seen as an other. So also like blood ties too, right? Like if you belong to this tribe and not this tribe, right? What does that mean? And shared histories or shared tragedies, right? Like a lot of histories, cultures and countries hold resentment to other cultures because of the things that are done to them. And so I think that's a great question to ask. How can we overcome these to be more peaceful? And I honestly don't have an answer. I think one of the best ways is to really understand the people you're like you say bad things about or you don't really understand, to like put yourself in their shoes and really try to come at them as from their side, so that you really do build that understanding and can bridge that like mysticism. Because right, if you don't know who they are, it's really easy to hate them and to hurt them. But when you start to understand them and realize how human they are, it makes it that much harder to actually go to war against them and stuff like that, unless you're like certain people who can do that to anyone. But I think that would be one of the best ways to, I think, foster peace, is really, really, really emphasize understanding and collaboration and cooperation. Not this stuff we do now where it's like cooperation, where it's like, all right, I give you this good, you give me that good. Great, we cooperate, we're done, right? Like really trying to understand the country, the culture, the people, and the languages, and then finding ways to find common ground.
Yeah, I think this is very complex. And as you said, there is no right answer, or like there are many factors influencing this. I do agree on that. And also about trying to be in their shoes. I'm not saying it's the right way, but in my case, I always try to see, it might be like if I see some conflicts, or if I don't agree with someone, or if I don't understand some person, it could be me if I was in the same conditions and if I had the same parents, if I had the same household. I think it's a great way of trying to understand them, and that we are all like somehow connected. I cannot understand it, but we are somehow all connected. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it also means being reflective and not reactive. I think many people sometimes they experience something uncomfortable or they don't like, and they're immediately reactive. And what you just said is great, where you need to be reflective and think about, all right, if I was in that situation, would I have the same thoughts? Would I do what they're doing, right? And if you can kind of think about how you would be in that situation, I think you can come up with much better solutions to like bridging peace or bringing about peace and understanding the other side much more, for sure.